Welcome back to Finance Infinity, the channel where money finally starts making sense. Today, I'm going to show you something most banks hope you never realize, because there's a financial turning point that quietly shifts power away from them and toward you. It starts when your monthly spending crosses $3,000, and it becomes permanent when you save your first $10,000. Let me explain why these two milestones change everything. When people hear spending over $3,000 a month, they usually imagine waste, luxury, or bad habits. But what actually happens is very different. Most of that money isn't going toward nonsense. It goes toward real life. Housing, groceries, transportation, utilities, insurance, subscriptions, family needs, work expenses, investments in yourself or your business. These costs don't come from recklessness. They come from having responsibilities, goals, and a busy life. And once you see your spending clearly, something powerful happens. You stop feeling ashamed about money. You realize you're not irresponsible. You're operating in reality. And the moment guilt disappears, fear disappears with it. Because guilt leads to panic. And panic is where banks make their money. Panic pushes people into quick loans. Panic makes people accept high interest. Panic makes people ignore fine print. Panic makes people desperate. But clarity destroys panic. When you consistently manage a $3,000 plus monthly flow, you naturally start organizing your money. You separate essentials from lifestyle choices. You notice emotional spending. You identify growth investments. You see which expenses help you and which slowly drain you. For the first time, you're not guessing anymore. You're directing. And once you're in control, the bank's influence weakens. Now let's talk about credit cards, one of the biggest money machines in the financial system. Most people swipe without strategy. They spend without tracking. They carry balances without realizing how fast interest grows. Banks design rewards and billing systems assuming you'll eventually slip. But once you monitor spending closely, the trap stops working. You pay on time. You avoid interest. You use rewards instead of funding them. In banking terms, you become what they quietly dislike, a low-profit customer. Someone who uses the system without feeding it. Someone who plays the game without losing. And that's exactly what financial institutions don't want. Now here's where everything connects. Once you see how quickly money flows through your hands each month, you gain respect for it. You realize how powerful even small savings can become. That awareness naturally leads to your first major safety net, $10,000 saved. And this milestone changes your psychology forever. Before savings exist, every problem feels like a crisis. A car repair becomes stress. A medical bill feels like disaster. A delay in income creates fear. You're always reacting. But once that $10,000 sits quietly in the background, your life shifts. You stop living in survival mode. You start operating from stability. Fear turns into preparation. Urgency turns into patience. Weakness turns into confidence. And banks feel this immediately. Because scared customers are profitable. Stable customers are not. When you combine controlled spending with real savings, something dangerous for banks happens. You stop making emotional decisions. You stop falling for rushed offers. You stop accepting unfair terms. You stop relying on debt to survive. They can't pressure you. They can't trap you. They can't steer you. You use banks as tools, not lifelines, and tools don't generate much profit. Another hidden benefit appears when your spending becomes clear. You finally understand your true cost of living. Most people don't know what life actually costs them. They estimate, they guess, they hope. But once you track real numbers, the truth becomes visible. You know what you need. You know what's optional. You know what's holding you back. Naturally, you optimize. You cut what no longer serves you. You invest where value grows. You realign your habits. Each adjustment strengthens your financial position and weakens the system's control over you, because knowledge kills manipulation. Banks thrive on confusion. They thrive on people who don't know their numbers. They thrive on impulsive behavior. Clarity is their enemy. There's something else that happens at this level. When you spend thousands every month, you realize your economic value. You're not a small participant. You're a major contributor. You fuel businesses. Industries depend on people like you. And once you recognize that power, you start negotiating. Lower fees, better rates, fairer terms, smarter contracts. Negotiation costs banks money because most financial products are overpriced by design. The moment you question them, the illusion breaks, and confident, informed customers are the hardest to profit from. Now add $10,000 of savings into this picture. Suddenly, no one can rush you. You don't need bad loans. You don't accept toxic deals. You don't stay stuck in situations out of fear. You have breathing room. Freedom destroys desperation, and desperation is the foundation of high-interest banking. Together, these two milestones create something rare, a person who directs money instead of reacting to it. You stop letting circumstances control your finances. You start designing your future. You grow intentionally. You invest strategically. You upgrade your life thoughtfully. Banks don't want strong customers. They want predictable ones. People who overspend emotionally. People who save inconsistently. People who rely on credit. People who stay trapped. But once you reach this level of awareness, the cycle breaks permanently. The $3,000 mark isn't just spending, it's awareness. The $10,000 savings isn't just money, it's security. Together, they mark a transformation from confusion to clarity, from survival to strategy, from dependence to control, from being managed to being powerful. And once you reach this point, the system can no longer steer your life. Your money doesn't define you, your awareness does. Your savings don't restrict you, they protect you. And every financial milestone isn't just a number, it's a new level of freedom. Here at Finance Infinity, we don't chase money, we master it. If you want to keep leveling up your financial intelligence, subscribe to the channel and watch the next video waiting for you now. Your future self will thank you.